Never waste a good crisis. And when it comes to the economic crisis, don't waste it when it can have a very positive impact.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste.
The way we're going to win over the long term is not just militarily. We've got to win over hearts and minds. And what that means is we've got to invest in countries that have no educational infrastructure, have no means for young people to get ahead. We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like to see.
Stay tuned for politics and religion. Well, with the world's attention focused on Copenhagen and the global warming summit there, another drama has been playing itself out in the land of Israel and Gaza. As you recall, 3.5 years ago, Mr. Gilad Shalit, an Israeli soldier, was captured by Palestinians and carried away into Palestinian-controlled territory. He has been held there ever since, and negotiations have been ongoing for some time for his release. The demands made by Hamas for his release is the release of about 1,000 Palestinian prisoners. Now, the price seems quite exorbitantly high. Many of these prisoners are terrorists that have killed and been convicted of killing Israelis. There are those that have planned terrorist bombs that have killed children and women. And so there's a lot of emotions pent up. Do we release the murders of the wives and children of some Israelis in order to save the son of another Israeli family? And back and forth, the dispute is gone. Now, the biggest fear is that by setting terrorists free in order to regain one of their own, they would have opened Pandora's box on kidnapping future Israelis and holding them for ransom. So the agreement is among all Israelis, okay, we do it this time, but then we put new rules in place. We never again will negotiate with terrorists. Now, that's the theory. That's what they're saying that they are going to do. Well, this is the latest breaking news. Channel 1 in Israel is reporting that Prime Minister Netanyahu will agree to the Shalit prisoner swap deal. What a Christmas present that would be for the Shalit family, obviously. Yet Mr. and Mrs. Shalit have been meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu and also with the Israeli negotiator with the Hamas as they have been attempting to get some kind of a resolution. Mr. Shalit stated that he would know something about his son within hours. Well, just before coming on this program, I then noticed this news item on the Jerusalem Post that Prime Minister Netanyahu will in fact agree to the swap within the next few hours or so. So it's a dramatic development. It's going to appear to be quite a victory for Hamas. It's going to legitimize Hamas because Israel has negotiated with Hamas. It's going to bring great relief to many in Israel. It will certainly be mixed emotions. Netanyahu has been meeting with his cabinet for the last 2 or 3 days, many hours. The report is that his cabinet is equally divided. 3 say, yes, we must do this. 3 say, we have deep reservations. Now, this is his inner cabinet, his security cabinet. And so consequently, back and forth, Netanyahu himself has been an expert on dealing with terrorism. He lost his own brother, Jonathan Netanyahu, to the terrorist at Entebbe quite a number of years ago. Netanyahu wrote a book on terrorism that Ronald Reagan read on the plane as he was traveling to a conference on terrorism. So Netanyahu himself has been considered quite an expert, and he finds himself weighing all of these factors outside of his prime minister's office. There are many cardboard cutouts of Shalit with people standing behind them, rows and rows and rows and rows of them. And how could that fail to have an effect on Prime Minister Netanyahu when he looks at these cutouts representing an Israeli soldier that he has the power to make an agreement on and set him free, but the price is very high. Now, as a subplot to all this, Mr. Marwan Barghouti is one of the prisoners that will apparently be set free, and some people think he is the heir apparent to the prime ministership, the presidency of the Palestinian Authority. Many think that Mahmoud Abbas has run his course, and Barghouti is the only leader on the horizon that can lead the Palestinian people. He's been in Israeli custody for several years now. What have they talked about? Have there been private discussions between him and the government? We don't know any of that. There's a lot on the table, and we'll find out within a matter of hours, apparently.